You want to lose belly fat so naturally. The internet gives you the usual masterpiece. Do 300 crunches, drink something green that tastes like lawn clippings, and apparently, your stomach will surrender in 7 business days. Yeah, that's usually where this whole thing goes off the rails. Here's the truth. Nobody likes because it's less sexy and way less marketable. Belly fat is not some separate emergency sitting on your body, waiting for one magical ab workout to fix it. It's just body fat. Some of it sits under the skin, some of it hangs around deeper in the abdominal area, and your body does not care that you specifically hate the lower part of your stomach. Very rude, I know. That's the first thing you need to understand if you actually want to make progress. You are not trying to target belly fat. You are trying to get your whole body into a state where it starts using stored energy consistently enough that fat comes down over time. And yes, that includes the belly. Eventually. Because for a lot of people, the belly is like that one guest who refuses to leave the party even after the lights are on. This is why so many people get frustrated. They start eating a little cleaner. Maybe they even lose a bit of weight. But then, they look in the mirror after 6 days and go, "Why is my stomach still there?" Because your body doesn't burn fat in the order your ego prefers. That order is mostly driven by genetics, body type hormones, and plain bad luck. Some people lean out in their face first, some in their arms, some in their legs. Meanwhile, belly fat just sits there like it pays rent. The easiest way to think about it is like a roll of paper towels. The outer layers come off first. The closer you get to the center, the slower the visual change seems. So when someone says, "I lost my belly in 1 week," what they usually mean is they were already deep into the process and only noticed the belly at the end. That's not a shortcut. That's the last chapter pretending it was page 1. And this is where most people mess up. They chase speed instead of mechanism. They want the trick before they understand the system. But fat loss is not powered by hope detox tea or suffering dramatically on an empty stomach. It runs on one basic principle: your body needs to use more energy than you're giving it. That's it. Not glamorous, not viral, just painfully effective. So, before you start cutting carbs into microscopic pieces, or blaming fruit for your stomach, you need to see what's actually happening. Because the real reason most people fail at fat loss is not that their body is broken. It's that they think they're eating one way, but reality is telling a very different story. And that's where step 1 begins. So, what do you actually do with that? You stop trying to eat healthy in the vague, emotionally comforting way, and you start getting honest about what you're actually eating. Because this is where reality hits people in the face. They'll say, "I barely eat anything," and then somehow there's the iced coffee, the little snack, the sauce, the bite while cooking the dessert. You didn't really count, and suddenly, your fat loss plan got taken out by random calories in civilian clothing. That's why tracking helps so much in the beginning. Not because you need to become the kind of person who weighs a blueberry and logs half a molecule of peanut butter. Relax. You just need awareness. That's it. Same way you can't say you're bad with money if you never check your bank account. You also can't say fat loss doesn't work for you if you have no clue what you're consistently eating. Tracking is not punishment. It's turning the lights on. And once you do that, the whole thing gets way less mysterious. You realize fat loss mostly comes down to controlling 2 big levers: how much energy you take in and how much energy you burn. Food is the first lever. Movement is the second. Not 27 supplements, not a weird carb conspiracy. Just those 2. And for movement, one of the easiest places to start is steps. Not because walking is magical, but because it's simple, measurable, and doesn't destroy your life. A lot of people hear you need more activity and immediately imagine brutal HIIT circuits and some trainer screaming motivational nonsense at them. You do not need that. You need a number you can repeat. Steps give you that. You can walk outside, walk while listening to a podcast, walk on a treadmill while pretending cardio is less boring because Netflix is on. It still counts. It's still Then, once your calories and movement are under control, nutrition quality starts to matter more. And the first thing to care about is protein. Protein helps keep you full. And more importantly, it helps you hold onto muscle while losing fat, which is kind of important if your goal is to look better and not just become a smaller, tireder version of yourself. A simple starting point is aiming roughly around your goal body weight in kilos multiplied by 2 in grams of protein per day. Not perfect science for every human on Earth, but close enough to be useful. And no, carbs are not the villain. Fat isn't the villain either. They are food, not criminal masterminds. Carbs help with energy. Fats help with hormones and basic human functioning. The problem is not that rice exists. The problem is that people eat like chaos and then blame one nutrient because it's easier than admitting their portions are doing stand-up comedy. Same thing with fasted training. People love arguing about whether working out on an empty stomach burns more fat, as if that's the secret missing piece. In reality, your body uses different fuel depending on the intensity of what you're doing. But the bigger question is way simpler. Can you stick to it? Because the best fat-burning method is usually the one you'll still be doing next month, not the one that made you feel hardcore for 3 mornings and then disappear. And that's the part most people underestimate. The plan that works is usually the boring one you can repeat, which sounds underwhelming right up until it starts changing your body. And if you ignore all of this and keep chasing shortcuts, the result is usually the same depressing little cycle. You go hard for a week. Cut your food into sadness. Do a bunch of random ABAB workouts. Lose a bit of water. Feel weirdly proud for 48 hours. Then your energy crashes. Your hunger goes insane. And suddenly, you're taking a break that somehow lasts 3 months. Not because you're lazy. Because the plan was stupid. That's the big mindset shift. You're probably not failing because fat loss is impossible. You're failing because you keep expecting visible belly changes before your body has even had enough time to do its job. You're checking the mirror like it owes you instant feedback. It doesn't. Your body changes on a delay. And the belly for a lot of people is one of the last places to really show it. Annoying. Absolutely. Personal attack. Feels like it. But normal. Also, yes. That's why progress photos matter more than people think. Day to day, you won't notice much because you see yourself constantly. You're too close to it. But when you compare a photo from a few weeks ago, that's when you suddenly notice your waist looks a little tighter. Your back is leaning out. Your legs look different, your posture is better. Sometimes the body is changing in places you weren't obsessing over, which is nice because your stomach should not be the CEO of your self-worth. And this is also where people waste a ton of effort on AB training for the wrong reason. Training abs is fine. You should probably do some. Strong abs are useful, and building the muscle there can make your midsection look better later. But AB exercises do not melt the fat covering them. You can build a strong core under a layer of fat the same way you can own expensive shoes and still leave them in the box. The thing exists. You just can't see it yet. So the real game is simpler than most people want to believe. Eat in a way that creates a calorie deficit without making your life miserable. Move more in a way you can actually sustain. Get enough protein so you're not starving and losing muscle along the way. Stop treating carbs and fats like they're evil. Stop trying to win fat loss with intensity alone. And give the process enough time to work before declaring your metabolism broken because your lower stomach didn't vanish by next Tuesday. You do not need a more extreme plan. You need a more repeatable one. That's it. That's the whole thing. Not flashy, not dramatic, just effective. So start with the boring stuff. Track your food for a few days honestly. Get your daily steps up. Build meals around protein. Then keep going long enough to let those habits do what they're supposed to do. Because fat loss is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent long enough for the truth to show up in the mirror. And once you understand that the whole process gets a lot less frustrating, You stop looking for magic. You stop panicking every time progress feels slow. You stop thinking your body is uniquely cursed by the universe. You realize the goal was never to find the cleverest method. It was to finally do the obvious things well enough and long enough that they actually work.